Oh, we bumping. Yo, thank you, Deb. I try to go for the reads. I do love the bumpities as well. They're delightful. I saw it. I just didn't get out of the way. Oh, I'm sorry, little penguin. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. I just dropped you right in that pit there. Pretty uncool of me. I'm sorry, little buddy. You know, not only are they trying so hard, they're succeeding. That's what I like about them, you know? They flap their little arms so hard. And you know what? They stay up. They stay up. Beware, snowstorms are frequent in this area. The low temperature can kill Mario in a matter of seconds. Well, why am I here? Make sure you take your everyday drink of Koopa coffee. It keeps your body warm, even in the worst conditions. Oh, I have to... Yup. Ah, coffee. No. I need my coffee. Yeah, geez, Mario, you're not prepared for the elements at all. Okay, minor spoilers. Skytree and I have been watching the X-Files, as I've mentioned. And we finally got to the point in the X-Files where we watched the movie. The end of Season 5. So we did. We watched the X-Files movie. And if I may be a guy on the internet that complains for a moment, spoilers for the X-Files movie, if for whatever reason you don't want them, mute now. I will let you know when they are through. But, you know, I was enjoying the X-Files movie. I was having a good time. It was, you know, it was a movie. Mulder was there. Scully was there. The ending of that movie has the biggest plot hole that I have ever seen in a movie. And the ending of that movie completely ruined the movie for me because the plot hole at the end was so big and so obvious that I can't believe anyone didn't notice it. It was the giantest plot hole in the world. Hot lips around. Make sure to avoid any kind of contact with them and their projectiles. I hope someone got fired for that. So here come the spoilers. So, like, Mulder, you know, he's looking for proof. The X-Files movie, the first X-Files movie, the X-Files Fight for the Future. Yeah, so, as it stands, you know, Fox Mulder is looking for the truth about extraterrestrial entities. Meanwhile, his partner, Agent Scully, is kidnapped by some evildoers. And they take her to a secret location with, you know, where she's held prisoner by the alien thing. And all right, you know, I'm with you. I'm with you so far. You know, the smoking man's doing some things. You know, what does the shadow government know about the aliens? Well, here's the thing. The secret alien base is located in goddamn Antarctica. Now that on its own makes sense. That's where that's where the aliens would hide. Nobody goes to Antarctica. And so Mulder's confidant gives him some information that tells him where to go to save Scully. And he just hands him this piece of paper and he's like, go to these coordinates and take her the vaccine that will save her life. Right? And it turns out these coordinates are in goddamn Antarctica. So, cut to a scene of Mulder in Antarctica, just riding on a snow crawler. Okay, sure, fine. I can believe well enough that Mulder, hi Mallow. I can believe well enough that Mulder leveraged his FBI contacts to get somehow a snowcrawler in Antarctica. And here's Mulder woefully unprepared for the situation. No face covering at all. It's Antarctica. Driving the snowcrawler all the way across the frozen tundra, mile after mile, right on down to the parish of St. Alfonso, which happened to be the exact same spot as the alien headquarters hideout place, right? So here we are in the middle of Antarctica. Mulder somehow rented a snowcrawler with no explanation given. Manages to save Scully from the evil alien Matrix thing that they've got her hooked up to, right? I thought you'd like that, New Pointless. And so he manages to save Scully, right? And Scully is in this, like, alien vat of liquid of some kind, and he, like, smashes the vat open, and he injects her with the anti-alien serum, and he pulls her out of this chamber, and he's like, I've got you, Scully, you know, I've got you. And takes her, you know, kind of fireman carries her outside to Antarctica, where the evil smoking man and the syndicate have just gotten out of town. They took their sand crawlers, they tried to stop Mulder, but they couldn't, and they took all their snow crawlers and they pieced out. Meanwhile, the UFO launches out of the snow and just leaves them there. How did they get back from Antarctica? How did they do it? Because they're just laying there in the snow. Scully is covered in water. Her body was just removed from a tank filled with liquid. She has now gone outside in Antarctica with no protective gear, nothing on her face. Her hair would be drenched. Her skin would be drenched. Her skin would be freezing to her bones in goddamn Antarctica. How did they get back? Because they're laying there, they're dying in the snow, and he just saved her, and then cut to a scene of them just sitting around in Washington like nothing ever happened. The smoking man wouldn't have saved him. He wanted him dead. He tried to kill Mulder and Scully. That's why she was there in the first place. So it's not like the smoking man would have saved him at the last minute. They pieced out. There was no transportation. They're laying half dead, exhausted, wet, in the middle of Antarctica. And you're expecting me to believe that somehow they just walked the hell out of there and walked back to Washington like nothing happened. I hope someone got fired for that blunder. I hope someone got fired for that blunder. I'm doing a bit right now to make you laugh. I'm not nearly as upset about it as I may seem. I'm just trying to make you laugh. But that was the giantest plot hole I've ever seen in a movie, and it really broke my suspension of disbelief. You're asking me to believe in a lot of things, but the fact that Mulder and Scully, half dead, just walked out of Antarctica. Antarctica! Maybe Alaska. Maybe I'd have believed you in Alaska. Some lone park ranger came and found him. Okay, sure, cool, fine. But you're at the secret alien base in goddamn Antarctica. You cannot expect me to believe that they survived that. And that's it. That's my gripe. That's all I gotta say. Otherwise, I enjoyed the movie. Thought it was fine. But damn. Yeah, we were starting to think, like, well, what if they just died in Antarctica and the rest of everything that goes on is just like an occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge where they're just like imagining all this stuff before they actually die. If you want more X-Files spoilers, basically, the lore of the X-Files is this: there are aliens, and certain people in the shadowy para-government syndicate know about them. The aliens want to take over humanity, and so the people in the syndicate kind of struck a deal and sold out humanity to them, but that bought them time. And they wanted that time to develop a vaccine for the alien, to destroy the aliens, because they didn't have one. All the while, knowing that they were like fighting time to save the planet. And then they also concocted a bunch of fake alien crap to throw people off and get them in the wrong direction. And that's pretty much what's going on. That's pretty much the whole X-Files. Oh yeah, and they use bees to spread the virus and do tests on it. So like you think they're evil, and they kind of are, but they're also trying to save humanity. They're just doing it in evil means. Or it's like they've agreed that like whatever the cost of saving, like they must go through with this plan because like otherwise humanity is doomed for reasons that we don't understand. I will say X-Files holds up surprisingly well. I mean there's some dated, there's a few dated attitudes. Yeah, some jokes that don't quite hit as well. But really, on the whole, I'd say 99% holds up really well. I was actually really impressed. The funniest thing about it is, like, the dated 90s technology. Like, Mulder, you work for the FBI, and you have the crappiest flashlight I have ever seen. Like, the dimmest, most useless flashlight with, like, the 4 D-cell batteries, and they got, like, the big square, chunky flashlights. Man. You work for the FB freaking I. Yeah, Chaos. I heard there was also an X-Men character like that. Whose power is that you don't remember him. I thought that was kind of a cool power, actually. Yeah, maybe. They can alter memories in X-Files. How do I fight you? Oh, cool. Oh, that's neat. Yeah. Wow, this is really cool. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, I've never gotten into Doctor Who. I just, truth be told, I don't really like British shows. I think they're just kind of dry. Like, I know American TV is all explosions and trucks and nuclear bombs, and I don't, you know, that stuff doesn't appeal to me more necessarily, but gosh, it can just be really dry. Like, I'm sorry, but it really, I'm sorry, England, but your shows are pretty dry. I did know that. Yeah, I did know that because I like learning about lost media. And I like watching like that Blame It On George YouTube that has does like lost media stuff. I did know that like the original run is like lost. You know, I think I'll tell you what my favorite British comedy show is. I have literally one, and it's not Monty Python. I think Monty Python ages worse and worse every year, and I'm frankly kind of tired of it. Just in general. Maybe it's just because I was like a huge fan when I was growing up. But in general, I'm just kind of over Monty Python. It's dated. Honestly, if I'm being real, it's pretty dated now. Even their silliness, it's dated. They also had a lot of jokes that didn't hold up as well. But it's not Monty Python. It's the young ones. Once in every lifetime. He's working hard, you know. He's really, yeah, he's putting in the work. He's definitely putting in the work. And the sucky thing is he's messing up the legacy for the other members that weren't as crummy. I've had Faulty Towers recommended. Skytree likes Faulty Towers. She said we should watch that. We probably will at some point. But dude, I like the Young Ones, man. Young Ones is great. If you've never seen it, it's all on YouTube. Rest in peace, Rick, the People's Poet, the actor that played Rick, passed away. But the Young Ones is like it's It's like a sketch comedy show about 4 college dudes that are living together. One guy is like the normal, like regular cool guy party guy. One guy, Rick is the cool guy No, I forget the name of the cool guy. Marty. I think it's Marty is the cool party guy. Neil is the bummed out hippie. He's like always having a bummer time. Vivian is the loud, obnoxious punk rocker with stars glued to his forehead, and Rick is the fiery anarchist poet, and they all room together, and it's a silly ass British comedy. It's the Young Ones is so funny, man. I definitely like the Young Ones. Well, are you being served? They never answer that question.